Maybe it's sort of an abstract connection. I think the sense of music, the rhythm, the sense of dynamics, the sense of the melodic line, all of these things apply to type design.
How was that? How did you go from type to music and back?
I left home when I was 19, moved to Los Angeles and started working in a recording studio.
And where were you from? Where did you start?
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Lincoln, okay.
My dream was to be a recording engineer because I knew the music and I loved the audio. I loved the devices, figuring it all out, hooking it up, building things. I did work as a recording engineer. I'd learned how to do recording by watching an older man that was a master. Took some classes. I took tape recorder maintenance from Dale Manquin, who had designed the first multi-track tape recorder.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And there's so much. I developed a love affair with old German microphones. At that point, this was after transistors had started being used in audio. They were being sold on the basis of their super low distortion. They don't have tubes, so they don't have to warm up. They don't go bad like tubes go bad. So they were selling transistor microphones. But a few audio engineers said, I like the sound of the old stuff better. And so it set off a craze of collecting. And so guys were traveling all around the country, going into old churches and saying, do you have any old microphones you want to sell? And they would say, yeah, we have these old things in the closet here. They're covered with dust. And we're using these new transistor microphones and they sound much better. And the guy would say, oh, well, I might take it. If you got some old stuff that looks interesting, I might take it off your hands for a few dollars. So some guys amassed impressive collections by just scouring the place for old microphones.
So what year is this now we're talking about?
78, 79.
Okay. So I was sort of close to the music business at that time too, because I was at Rolling Stone.
The studio was in Alhambra, so not really in Hollywood proper.
How long did you do that? How long were you working in the music industry?
About 5 years. And then I started to realize people could still smoke in the studios in those days.
Mm-hmm.
I realized I didn't want to be sitting at midnight on a weekend in a smoke-filled control room trying to record this one line over and over again. And so I went to art school.
That's like a spot for... So which art school did you go to?
I went to Art Center College of Design.
You did go to Art Center, yeah. I was going to say that almost like a commercial for Art Center. I wasn't going to sit in that recording studio any longer with breathing all that smoke, so I went to art school. And so what did you do there?
I took a specialty called environmental design,
Mm-hmm.
which was not environments like trees and rivers. It was interior architecture, basically.
Huh.
So store design, commercial office design.
And with graphics, typically.
Right. So we learned about different materials and office layouts, and our teachers were working professionals.
And were you doing anything that was related to music production in your studies? Did you think you might do more console design or studio design or something like that?
Well, I kept all of my contacts, my friends that I'd made in the recording business. And so when I got out, I started designing small recording studios, because when I graduated in 1985, the thing that happened maybe 15 years ago to the type business, which is little computers replacing big giant typesetting equipment, now was happening in the music business.
Mm-hmm.
The computers were getting powerful enough and small enough that people could afford them and set up little studios in their homes. It's interesting for me what happened to the type business in Chicago, going from actual professionals of proofreading and keyboarding and keylining and all that stuff, built around big proprietary system. In just a very short time, Rich DePietro at Typesmiths, he hired me to set type on the Mac, right alongside all the people who were still doing things the real way.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't too long before they were hauling out the big proprietary image setters and replacing it with smaller stuff.
What about the design? Do you feel like music powers your type design in some way, or what's the relationship of music composition and type design?
Maybe it's sort of an abstract connection. I think the sense of music, the rhythm, the sense of dynamics, the sense of the melodic line, all of these things apply to type design. Patience certainly is part of it, because to be a musician, you have to practice and you have to be patient.
So that's cool. You're going on working on type design after all this time. Is that fun for you? Are you enjoying it?
The other night, I'd done a long session. I just started typing out words and letters on the screen, just sort of playing around, looking at it in reverse, just enjoying the interactions of the shapes and the rhythm that I had worked so hard to create. It was just really pleasurable. And it was just me and my screen and, the letters that I designed and put together. And I really, really enjoyed that.
That's fantastic.
I definitely get into a flow state when I'm working, when I'm drawing. And when that happens, time just vanishes.
Yeah. And it's very pleasurable.
It's very pleasurable.
You feel very good at the end when you're done it and you're successful. That's interesting.
That's probably at the core of why I design. Is that.
That's a great answer.